guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms Restorations and Repairs. Check it out. I've got this Harbor Freight US General, I think they've changed it now to Maddox, radiator pressure tester kit. If you are not familiar with how to use one of these, this is the video for you. I'm going to take you over here to my Sienna and I'm going to show you the process of finding out how to find the right fitting and how to properly pressure test your cooling system. Now, let's do it. All right, first up, this has changed names quite a few times. I bought this for $6 whole back at a flea market about, I don't know, it's got to be 10 years now. Still works. Item number was 65053. Like I said, it's I think it's currently a Maddox, but you can see it's held up okay. Sat out in the sun for a while, so. Find external cooling system leaks or detect internal leaks caused by blown head gaskets or cracked blocks. All the way up to 30 PSI, you definitely don't want to be doing that, at least with anything that I've ever worked on. It does come in this nice blow molded case, and I suggest you leave all that stuff in there because it's just more helpful that way. Make sure yeah, you got this beautifully. Okay, so your components here, the main unit is this. We have a pressure tester here, and you can see with the gauge on there as well, and then our hookup, and this is our pressure relief, okay? Set that aside. The rest of this is finding out what fits your particular radiator, right? And there's quite a few. We have some Volkswagen ones here, the Toyota and Ford, and then a bunch of, oddball ones, like I think that's a Volvo cooling system, although I can't remember. No, I think that's the Volvo cooling system. Anyway, there is a manual that comes with it that gives you an idea of what some of these things actually work to. You can see here the Japanese, European cars, so there's a bunch. And then there is another connector here which you can use with these for if you just can't find what you're looking for. You can go through there and clamp on, and they work. I've used that one time. Now my kit is missing one, number 9 I think it is missing, but and there was a little metal piece here that goes with it that's also missing. Not really anything I've ever missed, honestly. Whatever it fit, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over to the car and I'm going to show you how to determine which one of these is actually going to work for your car. All right, here we are at the car, and you can see I have a radiator cap here. This is a Toyota Sienna. Listen, if the car has been driven at all, if it is warm to the touch at all, don't open that. You will get burned really badly. But in this case, this car's been sitting, so I can unscrew this safely and pull it off. And there is our cap. And what we're going to want to match up is this and this here, the size of this circle. And you'll see that the ones on our kit are spring-loaded. So I go back to my kit here, and I can find that this looks an awful lot like that, right? But this is spring-loaded, so it'll compress to make a nice seal when I get it in there. So that's the one for this particular car. I'll go ahead and install that. You can see I have my lines here and here. We line that up, apply downward force, and then lock it, twist it into place. All right, just like our original cap. What we're left with is this, and that's where our pump comes in. The pump here, you just press down on this, and it locks it into place. Pressure-wise, you can look at the cap. In this case, I'm not going past 13, but we can start pumping it up. And if you look, there is 13. Now, well, a little less than 13, but we'll go with that for right this second. So look, while I let that sit, let's talk about what the next step is. It depends. It depends on your car. If you have a major leak, that should start to drop down very rapidly, almost immediately. If you have no coolant in your car at all, you'll have to be listening for a hissing sound while that happens instead of looking for where the coolant is leaking from. In most cases, though, if we need to use something like this, the leak is relatively small, and it requires us to let this get pumped up to a pressure and then to come back in, I don't know, let's say 10, 15 minutes. So in this case, that's what I'm going to do. I've got it set right now. It looks like it's at 12 PSI, and I'm just going to walk away, and we'll come back here in a little bit and check. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes, and you can see I'm still sitting at 12 PSI, nothing lost. Now, if you pull this up to release this, you're going to get a face full of pressurized coolant. Whether it's hot or cold, it doesn't taste good, and it's really bad for the environment as well as our pets. So they were good enough to put this in here. This is a relief valve. You can see as I press that, pressure's going to drop back down to 0. Once it's completely out, you grab this by the collar here, pull up on it, and that's it. Push down and squeeze and rotate. And that's that. And then after you've fixed your leak and filled up your coolant, you're ready to put your cap back on. That's all there is to it. So that's it. There's not a whole lot to it. I try to clean it up before I put it back away. And I've had this for 10 years, worked on countless cars. But if you take good care of your stuff, it'll last just as long as any American-made product, which you're in luck. There aren't any actual American-made pressure testers left in this world. So this is where you're going to get it. Harbor Freight's the place to be. Anyway, I'll leave a link to where you can get one of these. Why not? Sure. Anyway, that's it. I'll leave a link to where you can get one of these things, and I'll see you next time. Take care.